when the little girl went downstairs to find her mother. She never expected that the family dog would suddenly lunge at her and bite. Seeing the girl being dragged along by the dog, screaming in pain, the neighbors quickly rushed over, shouting for help. Upon hearing the cries, the other residents of the neighborhood immediately came to assist. They raised wooden sticks and began hitting the dog. However, just then, the dog's owner returned with dog food and saw the scene. She didn't notice that the child who had been bitten by the dog was her own daughter. Seeing her dog on the ground after being struck, the woman didn't rush to check on the injured child. Instead, she questioned if the neighbors had teamed up to steal her dog. She then threatened them, saying that if anything happened to her dog, she would make sure they compensated for it. Seeing how unreasonable the woman was, the crowd began to scold her. They pointed out that she always walked the dog without a leash, letting it roam around the neighborhood and bite people. Now, she was trying to turn things around and accuse the good people of wrongdoings. But the woman didn't care about their words. Used to being arrogant, she was determined to defend her dog today. At that moment, the girl, severely injured, suddenly spat out blood, and her condition seemed critical, needing urgent medical attention. But the girl's parents had yet to appear. They had sent messages to the neighborhood group, but there was no reply, as the girl's breathing became weaker. Just when it seemed like she might not survive without treatment, the ambulance finally arrived. However, when the doctors were about to lift the girl onto the stretcher, the woman blocked them, demanding that they treat the dog first. She then climbed into the ambulance herself, even though the doctors told her that the priority was saving the girl, not the dog. The woman remained unmoved. She insisted on having a medical assessment for her dog's injuries, threatening to hold the dog thieves accountable. The neighbors, feeling helpless, decided to endure her tantrum for the girl's sake. They carefully placed the girl on the stretcher and moved her into the ambulance. However, just then, the cloth covering the girl's face was knocked off. Before the woman could get a good look, the cloth was quickly pulled back over the girl's face again. At that moment, the woman felt the girl looked familiar, but then she remembered that her own daughter was at home, doing homework. She turned to shout at the girl, saying she wasn't worthy of riding in the same ambulance as her dog. Everyone was furious, shocked that the life of a dog was considered more important than the girl's life. But the woman, unfazed, boasted that the hospital was funded by her. She then called her husband, lying that the people in the neighborhood were extorting her, and had even hurt her dog. Just then, the dog let out a painful howl. Only then did the woman seem to panic and urgently told the driver to head to the hospital. When they arrived at the hospital, the crowd noticed a watch on the girl's wrist. They hoped to use it to identify the girl's parents, but the woman realized that it was her own daughter's watch.